Previously. X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show.
All right then. We're behind schedule. Let's begin.
Let's begin. X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show.
Which one are we doing?
Stormcatcher.
No, it's not called Stormcatcher. It's called African Storm. It's season 2, episode 8 of X-Men Evolution. Stormcatcher. That's a good name too, actually. But not for this episode. This one was written by Nick Dubois and directed by Gary Graham. Well, yeah, I think, yeah. It's actually a better name for this episode.
African Storm just seems like they're just saying where she's from.
Yeah, like she doesn't go there.
No. They don't even really mention that she's from there, really. And we kind of know that sort of, but it's not like it's really mentioned.
Because they're like, we want to bring her back. So that's that's how you know. But who are we? Who are we? Well, I am one of your hosts.
The night winds have finally answered my pleas.
It's true. They answered my pleas. It took a lot of night winds to get me where I am today, let me tell you. And with me, as always, is my co-host.
He's been quite a handful lately.
I know he has.
Hung Andre. He's been a handful, but it's because he's so hung, Andre. Yikes. Good thing this is the X-Rated show.
That's true.
Andre, he's a cat fight in the background there. The little fella won, though.
Ripley, what happened? Did he beat you?
No scraps. No scrappy poo.
She wanted to.
Yeah, I know. Didn't. She ran. No, it wasn't her.
No, that's the big one there. That's Ripley's the big one.
Yeah, it was the other
one. The little one's Frodo.
Yeah.
Oh, she wasn't in it? What colors were they?
It was the little black one, and it chased off the orange one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lebowski ran for it.
Yeah, he has no time for that shit.
Get out of here.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah. Or Frodo, I guess the little fella's Frodo.
He's a little guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're here to review season 2, episode 8, African Storm. We're getting there. Andre's dying.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it does suck, doesn't it?
Davin forced me to come on even though I'm at death's door. I begged him not to.
Please don't make me podcast.
The doctor said that if I podcast, it could be my last one, but he said he was willing to take that chance.
I said you'll podcast if you know what's good for you, buddy.
He threatened my life and the lives of my kid and my cats. Well, I consider my kids. So if you're listening to this, please send help.
Help is on the way. So, should we get right into this one, do you think? Strap yourselves in, people. In the spirit of the day, we're going to go for 24 hours here tonight. I know you're sick, Andre, but we're going for 24.
What's this wee business? You got a turd in your pocket?
Nice t-shirt. He was right. Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the going like this reminds me of there's shit.
Showing off the tats.
No, I got a big welt right here from wrestling, I think. The Bloodhound Gang. Do you remember this particular band?
Is that you and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
So let's do it like that's it.
Yeah.
I recently got their best of album on vinyl.
Why?
Why not?
Is their best of just that song 10 times?
Oh, they had other songs. Hope He Dies, a great song. You're Chasing Lane, also a great song.
I got a new record player the other day, this little portable ones, because my other one's, like 300 pounds or whatever.
Yeah, I have 4 now. There's one there, there's one in my living room, there's one in my library, and then one upstairs in the spare bedroom. They just keep finding good used ones and grabbing them.
Might as well, in case one goes on the fritz or two go on the fritz.
Well, I always run into people that like want record players with this. Like, sometimes I give them away. You know,
It's like Chief O'Brien would say, "I wouldn't want to be caught without a second backup."
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I live my life based on the principles of Chief O'Brien.
Me too. Let's get into this episode, shall we?
All right. Episode African Storm. So we get a vague, mysterious opening sequence in which we see some kind of ritual going on in Africa.
This part's in Africa, so
this seems
African
very
part of the
culturally sensitive. I'm sure this is what African people do.
Sometimes you just gotta have a drum and a fire. You never had a drum circle around a fire, Andre?
Not while wearing face paint that makes me look like a skull. Although what's funny is I had a character when I was doing that Humbug comic. I had a planned character called Voodoo Jones who looked almost exactly like this guy. So it makes you wonder if maybe I saw this when I was a kid and filed it away in my memory somewhere. Or,
well,
I guess
no,
it's pretty standard Baron Samedi sort
burn an X point, but Brother Voodoo looks like that.
Does he?
Yeah, he wears this half skull makeup sometimes.
But he has like he's not bald. He has the dreadlocks.
Yeah, it's true.
But anyway, yeah. So then we see him doing a ritual, trying to summon Storm back to Africa. I'll get the old intro, and we see. I almost said Mary Jane. That's so sick I am. Jean Grey. Jean Grey sees Scott sitting with the girl whose name I
Jane
forgot.
Grey.
Yeah, Jane Grey. She sees them kind of getting flirty. They invite her to sit with her, but she's looking for Duncan. They haven't seen him. She tries to make small talk, but it's obvious that the two of them are sort of wrapped up in their own world with each other, and she sort of leaves.
Hi, guys. I was looking for Duncan.
Always with Duncan. What is this Duncan got? I tell you, everybody loves Duncan.
Looking for Duncan.
Just Duncan. Duncan.
I know. We need more explanation about this Duncan. Whoop.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Sorry. No, sorry. So, where did I get? Yeah. So then we get to that. We see Evan banging around the snowboard, covering people in the food.
Causing a bit of ruckus.
Causing a bit of ruckus, in which he, I don't see it here, but he bumps into Principal Kelly. We see he's late getting to his training session with Storm because of that altercation with Kelly. It's gonna capture. Was it Capture the Storm or Stormcatcher is the name of the
Stormcatcher
program? And then he kind of forgot if he was supposed to catch her, because of the name of the program. It turns out he's supposed to protect her. Is the point.
So it's like a way better name for this episode than for that program.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other people are trying to catch her, I guess. So there's that.
Yeah, I guess.
So anyway, the program begins. She's angry with him already for being late, and they get going. But during the program, she gets trapped in a small box, and this was going to be one of my X points, but I guess I'll just say it now. I'll burn 1, 2 since you did, in the interest of fairness. This is the first time in the series we've seen that Storm is claustrophobic. They haven't mentioned it before, so we see that, which is of course something that X-Men fans know. This is a recurring thing with her character. So
yeah, it's a character beat they always want to get in there, and it makes sense too because
they never did in the movies. They never mentioned it once in the movies.
They didn't do anything with her character in the movies. Is why they were awful.
Yeah, they had nothing to do. They had some redeeming stuff, but they didn't do that with Storm. That's for sure.
Nothing.
I noticed Halle Berry wasn't listed as one of the returnees for the Doomsday movie, so I'm guessing.
No, but I see rumors that she's in talks still.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rumor has it that's just a partial cast. That whole trailer thing, even though it was like 1 million people, it's still just a partial cast. But
well,
I
bunch
want
of
a
people
new
they didn't
Storm.
mention that I would expect. Like, they didn't mention Spider-Man. They didn't mention, a lot of characters that you'd assume would show up in something this big. But it could be very much like Endgame, where they kind of set it all up with one and then bring everyone else in the second. Anyway, she gets angry and defensive. He sends Evan away after the program. And she's not sure how the program knew that she was claustrophobic, because it shouldn't. He said he didn't know she's claustrophobic. She said the program didn't know either. So as she leaves, the power goes out. She runs into Beast. who's looking for Evan because he found in the garbage Evan's report card, which says he's not doing well. In the program, we see Rogue get dropped off by her friend. Oh man, why am I so bad with names? What's her name again, Evan?
Is it Misty?
No, it's Risty. That's right.
Risty.
It's like a regular name, but stupider. So then it's Risty.
Misty would be too on the nose for Mystique, I suppose.
Yeah, but it would be fine. Like, why would someone expect Misty to be? You know what I mean? Like,
well, if she starts dropping stupid things like in this episode,
yeah, like
give herself away.
Yeah, like it's like you've done so well with hiding your identity, and you'll let something cool, blatantly obvious slip, like so blatantly obvious slip. It's ridiculous. So anyway, when she drops her off, she says something about. What's she bring up Storm? I can't remember exactly how they get into it, but Risty says something like, "Well, I can see why Storm would be so upset, or like Aurora would be so upset because she has fear, like claustrophobia." And Rogue's like out of nowhere, like how the hell she even know who Storm is? You know, like
how do you know?
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, one of your friends from the Institute probably told me. And she's just like, you don't hang out with any of them either. Like, what is this?
Yeah, it's very dumb.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess we can't let that play. So it's getting all misty and weird. She's visited in her sleep seemingly by some kind of a person. She's awakened by Kitty, who hears her thrashing about. Storm swears someone was in her room, so they go to investigate. They talk about Evan. Professor X comes in to see what's going on. They talk about Evan. Professor X mentions that perhaps Evan should go back with his mom because he's not doing well in school. He's not listening to anybody and kind of doing his own thing. Evan overhears that as well. We see Storm going to take a bath.
The mist. He's choking on the mist in the episode.
We see Storm going to take a bath. The mist is forming a skull. It's a symbol she recognizes. The water comes through the ceiling. She's just sitting there, sort of lost in her own thoughts while the tub was overflowing. She goes off to her room. Professor X sees that she smashed the mirror when she was in there as well. So more doings are transpiring. We see Storm try to reach out to Evan while he's packing to leave. He gets angry that they're going to send him back. He storms off to go to school to clear out his locker. Actually, I don't think he quite says he's going to do that yet, but anyway.
There's the scene where she drops the...
Oh, that's here. I thought it was later.
No.
Right.
Quit playing the video.
So, calm down. Jesus. I meant to hit pause. I thought if I hit next to advance it would stop playing, but didn't. So a Nightcrawler is upset that Evan doesn't seem to be fighting to stay. Evan tells him that they're not even friends. I don't know why he cares. And of course, Nightcrawler's hurt by that because he thought they were. The other kids tried to come to his rescue, but he's getting defensive. The standard tough kid. I don't need anybody to tell me what to do.
Nobody appreciates me. I'm out of here.
Beast runs into the kids playing. I'm assuming this is Wolfsbane.
Yeah, for sure.
Or it's just a random dog that they have in the...
She can turn into dogs and wolves and like... So... definitely her.
But anyway, he runs into the kids that are playing ball, but...
Cannonball runs into him. Like, Cannonball just comes flying down out of the air and just like, smacks right into Beast. It's pretty funny, though.
They're just playing themselves because they're supposed to meet Storm, but she didn't show up. So
it's like, look out! You just got Cannonball.
Beast takes him in to play volleyball without their powers.
Yeah.
And then we see
to learn restraint.
Some backstory of Storm as a ritual back home in Africa, and then she's attacked by the Hungans, who are these African warriors that capture her and keep her enclosed in a box, which is her fear at a port. Wolverine and the X-Men go off trying to find her. And they find someone that's theirs, not with the bad guys, but kind of gives them the exposition they need to understand what's going on. That there was a guy that I guess Hungan was his name, but who that Storm ousted for being in control of the village many years ago. That he's using some dark magic to steal her powers and going to use it to rule Africa.
Your spirit has been broken, Wind Rider, and now I can take it from you.
I don't know what kind of crazy magic they're working with here, but it seems pretty intense.
You
just sort of like put someone in a box, and all of a sudden they're like, "Your sword is broken."
Wolverine had a pretty good scene too.
Where is she, bub? I won't ask twice.
Wolverine's not fucking around. There's his friend.
He's not.
Oh, fuck off. One sec here.
Not you, ex-goons.
No, I hit the wrong button. Listen, I'm sick, tired, everything hurts.
He's being forced to be here under threat of life.
That's right. Devin wants me to do 24 hours of the show. Evan
Yeah,
manages
we're
to
going
make a
24
save.
hours.
Make a save.
That's a cool scene
scene
back there where Storm finally or actually that's
Yeah.
where she's still bad and she's firing lightning at them. Still,
She's sort of
cool
like
Storm
levitating
stuff.
in the air while her powers are being sort of siphoned away. But Evan manages to reach out to her during the fight, and she snaps too and dispatches Hungin, sending him
Well,
off.
she
to the
snaps too
woods.
because he throws stuff at Hungin's at Hungin and it hits his staff or whatever.
Right, which kind of breaks the hold on her. So she's rescued by Evan, and then Evan and her Vivian, Evan's mom, shows up to take him home. But then after further talking with Storm, realizing that Evan went the extra mile to try to help Storm, they should stay. And he's very happy, and this is going to turn him around. Now he's going to be good in school. All the kids are happy he's staying, and then he skateboards down the hall. End of episode.
Yep. Pretty much how it went. Well, that was fast.
Yeah.
Let's get it on with it. It's going to be a short episode.
There's not a lot of crazy, like I said, the show, there's not a lot of stuff to really visit. Connections to other things. It's all pretty straightforward storytelling.
It is pretty straight.
And not a lot of nods to things in the comics or anything either, right? So it's not like you kind of get hung up by a lot of that sort of stuff.
How shall we proceed, sir?
By making a call.
I know Storm's in this one, so I'm sure we're giving it a 10.
No, I don't think it's as good as the last episode. I'm going to give it a 9, though. I do think it has a lot going on. The Evan thing was a bit forced because it's he's always been a little comes off a little younger than the rest of them, but all of a sudden he's horrible in school and horrible at the institute.
Yeah, I know, and he's
none of them are his friend. And
he's a loner. At no point has that ever really been a thing.
No, so that was kind of forced. But other than that, I thought it was kind of interesting to have some sort of threat or other than the Shadow King from Storm's past in Africa and from
just making up a random guy.
Yeah, that's fine. Some tribe that's knew of her when she was the queen there. There has to be some baggage when you're this queen goddess for these people. So that was interesting. And it was a Storm episode. So and there's some other things. Beast was cool. He's Kitty was there's lots of Wolverine had a good scene. Just pretty good all around episode. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yeah. I was gonna say 7. I'm thinking maybe an 8. It didn't blow me away. I'll say 8. 8's fine.
Also, the Storm Evans stuff was pretty good, where she's trying to be a good aunt, and
I just feel like they're not really telling us anything. They barely tell you anything, and just I know it's just drip feed.
It's somehow I can tell you because I go in through the whole thing in audio form and grab sound clips. There is a lot more time taken up with music and action sounds and gunfire or whatever it is, lasers, than in TAS. TAS is just jam packed with dialogue. It takes forever to get through it, clipping sound clips. This one, it doesn't take me very long at all, and I grab very few sound clips because there's not a lot of dialogue. It could use a bit more. And maybe they'll get there, but they're taking their time.
Yeah, sure.
But still, I do like this episode. It could have used more dialogue. But a lot of the animation was cool. I liked all that cool Africa animation, big fire, and the cool skull paint and all. It was pretty cool. Yeah, all right. So not bad. Not quite as good as the Christmas episode, but not bad. Good to get some focus on Storm and away from the kids for a bit, too.
Yes, that's true. It was nice to see something a little different.
The Uncanny X points. Well, you go first.
I go first, shall I?
Yeah, shall you?
I shall tell you that my first thing will be
Sickness before beauty.
fuck you. Hungan is a name given to a male practitioner of voodoo in general. Since voodoo has its roots in ancient African theology, it also makes sense that the Hungan is also the name of an African shaman or witch doctor. So it may not be this gentleman's actual name, but more of his profession. He used the term gentleman loosely.
So they're just referring to his job title.
Yes, like doctor or bus driver or janitor. We find there should be another one just called the janitor. I like it. He cleans up the messes.
There you go. It's like D-Man, Demolition Man. It's just what he does.
He demolishes.
Mm-hmm. All right, my next one is kind of a theory, or my first one is kind of a theory. I think Mystique is not plotting with Magneto anymore, or even really plotting at all. I think she's actually just trying to be close to Rogue.
Really?
Yeah.
Could be.
I think it's just like a mother thing. And maybe, a little bit Nightcrawler too, though she doesn't seem to give as much of a shit about him. Maybe because she gave him up. Yeah, her actual son.
Fuck that guy.
So she gave up so long ago, I guess. But I don't know. That's my theory. That's the feeling I'm getting, because I don't really see what her plan is, if she's plotting anything, because we haven't seen any of those machinations.
My second point is that we keep seeing the New Mutants teased a lot. They keep showing up in little ways in the background. Never really had to do anything important, but are always just kind of
Boom Boom
reminding us they're around or aware. Yeah, it's only Boom Boom was the one that actually had anything to do.
And then she left.
We haven't seen her since.
That was just a way of introducing a new Brotherhood member. But yeah, I think they probably will focus on the kids a bit. But I'm, get to it. I'm all for it. Okay, my next point is Kitty's pretty funny in this one, because she just comes busting through the walls every time she hears anyone scream. Like twice she comes busting into like the walls or not busting through, but phasing through, I should say, the walls to help Storm when she has her nightmare. And then later in the bathroom with like the tubs just running over and stuff. Kitty's always the first there and just comes running through the walls. So when you live in the X Mansion, wake up in a cold sweat, Kitty will be there to hold your hand.
Just be careful you masturbate, I guess, because you never know when Katie's gonna bust through the wall and be staying in your room.
Just the throes of personal passion. What's wrong?
Are you in pain? No, leave me alone. That's really funny. We don't get much of Storm's backstory here. Just that she hosted this guy from her tribe back in Africa, but not any about the thief stuff or how her parents died or where claustrophobia came from, any of that stuff. I wonder if that's going to come, or once again, they're just sort of giving you little bits enough to get through the story.
I think that might have been a positive for me, though. I like that, because we've seen the Shadow King Egypt thing a lot. But
not in cartoons. You saw it once in cartoons in X-Men 97.
Yeah, I just mean as far as more when her backstory is presented in anything. That's usually what you get, that she was a thief. But you don't get the fact that they just reference the fact that she was a goddess to these people. Like, you never get any of that backstory, except for Missionary, I guess, in the TAS.
There's a couple episodes where they dealt with the Shadow King and other stuff.
Yeah, it's always Shadow King.
Yeah, well, that's her personal bad guy. The X-Men have a lot of villains for the X-Men, and each one of them has usually their one personal villain in the regular show. I know in the comics expanded they probably way more, but Wolverine, Sabretooth, Shadow King is Storms, the fucking weird external thing from Gives Gambits, Rogues and Mystique. Comes. We get it all. It's all in there.
Speaking of Wolverine Sabretooth, it's been a while since we've had a Wolverine Sabretooth fight in this show.
Yeah, it's almost as if we had one every other episode for an entire season. Maybe it's time we take a break from it.
Yeah, well, I'm starting to miss them. All right, well, my next point. Beast seems to be doing all the teaching now. He just joined the school as a teacher, and then now it's just him. Professor you never see teaching. Wolverine, not really. They just threaten a class with him every now and then. And really Storm, you don't really see teaching. It's just Beast. Beast is the teacher now. Because I guess he can't work at the school. So now they just have him do all the teaching at the Institute.
Yeah.
Could be worse. Could be worse.
I think, and my fourth point is, I think much in the way that the creators of the show that showed up.
Is that so, Legion X? Storm turns 50 today. Storm's first comic came out 50 years ago today. Giant-sized X-Men? Huh. Interesting.
Is that what he's referencing? Or is that an original
interesting
birthday?
exploit.
Well, that's actually really advantageous that it was published in 1975. I don't know if it says when the street date was, like the actual day month.
Yeah. Well,
March of 1970. Oh wait, no, that's it. That's not that. That's from December 79. X-Men title stopped. Marvel print made the older X-Men. Okay, yeah, 75.
Huh.
Yep, May of 1975.
Oh shit! Look at that now. Well, happy birthday, Storm.
Yeah.
Have a day fit for a queen.
Yeah, much like when it had Stephen Gordon and Power on the show, they mentioned that they kind of snuck in a little bit of a lesbian relationship between Storm and Destiny. That was never really overtly explained.
Mystique and Destiny.
Oh, when I say Storm, yeah, that's what I meant. It was never overtly stated as such, but one that they in their own canon had put in there. So much like that, I feel like Storm and Wolverine might be an item in the show, but it's never really explained unless it is at some point. But it seems like they spent a lot of time together in the show, and he's obviously very protective of her, more so than seemingly some of the other people on the show around.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
my next one.
Okay.
Duncan's going to be a supervillain. That's my theory. Duncan's going to turn out to be a bad guy. Maybe
I think
mutant.
I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be like. I'm going to call it right now. You can, and I swear I haven't looked this up. He's going to be like the human. When they find out that they're mutants, he's going to be the Friends of Humanity human guy. Like he's going to go all in on the.
Turn on Gene because he's going to be Friends of Humanity.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. He's going to be this.
You want my powers, Hungan? Here's more than you can handle.
I forgot that. That's a good one.
That was a good line. So it's very much, very reminiscent of the award-winning, critically acclaimed, much heralded by the fans film Ang Lee's Hulk, in which the Hulk says, when his father, who is now the Absorbing Man, starts trying to absorb his powers, he's like, "You want my power? Take it all!" And he puts it all into him and fucks him up. That's it. Didn't you ever think we'd mention Ang Lee's Hulk movie on here? Did you?
Nope.
Well,
is that your last X point?
No, it was nothing with anything. What's my last X point? Did you say your second last one?
I think so.
What was it?
Duncan, supervillain.
Oh, Duncan, super. Yeah. Well, Duncan's not even in this episode. We don't even see him.
They talk about him. We never see him. That's why he's going to be a supervillain.
Like when Homer.
It's probably Mr. Sinister.
You're like when Homer goes to give notes about what he wants to have with Poochie on the Itchy and Scratchy show. Whenever Poochie's not around, all the other characters should be asking, "Where's Poochie?
Where's Poochie?"
Where's Poochie? And my last point is just we get another little fun series of scenes of Evan drinking milk in this episode, as they often try to slide as possible on the show.
I missed it.
Yeah.
Very good.
Calcium.
All right. Well, I'm
surprised they never brought this character in the comics in any way. He's interesting enough.
Who?
Spike.
Oh, Evan. Yeah. Well, comes to my last X point which is Storm's family, it's an interesting dynamic. It's because in the comics, basically her parents died when she was a kid, and she has her mother's family back in Africa, but she doesn't seem to be really close with any of them. Missionary somewhat in the TV show. And I guess he's in the comics too. But yeah, you never get anything from her father's family back in America where she actually lives. You never really see that. So it's an interesting dynamic. Something new for the character to explore. Yep. That's my last X point. So I guess it's time to check it.
Hey, check it.
All right, well, I'm going to go first. So I'm going to recommend Uncanny X-Men numbers 224, 225, which I think is the first X-Men comic I ever bought. 226 and 227. Look at that beautiful storm cover there. And all of them coming through like, I don't know, it's not the Siege Perilous, but something like that. So anyway, this is the Fall of the Mutants storyline. And this is the one where it's Storm and Forge fighting the adversary. It happens through all these books. There's a lot of other stuff going on too with like some of the other characters. Like Havoc's got something going on and Dazzler and all them. Well, they're like fighting Freedom Force, and then they end up teaming up with Freedom Force. But yeah, see, there's the adversary right there. Anyway, yeah. So Storm and Forge against the adversary, and they actually have Roma with them. Do you know who Roma is? Like Lady Roma. She's like super powerful. She's like, you know, kind of in the Captain Britain pantheon of magical beings and that kind of stuff.
Oh, no, I don't.
So she's helping them out against the adversary.
Oh,
But
cool.
they find out. So then the X-Men show up just to help them at the very end, to help Storm and Forge. And Betsy, because she can read Forge's mind, realizes that Forge actually knows how to defeat the adversary, but he won't do it.
Why not?
Because he has to sacrifice the life force of the X-Men to do it. Like, so
Forge's going to make the hard calls.
Yeah, he doesn't want to make the hard call. That's for sure. But then, like, so Betsy squeals on him, and Storm's just like, well, I'll do it. And then the X-Men are like, if Storm's going to do it, I'm going to do it. And then they do. They sacrifice themselves to defeat the adversary. And then Lady Roma resurrects them, like, immediately. And
that's pretty powerful.
But everyone thinks they died. So that's where they decide to roll with it. And they
I remember that storyline. Yeah. What they think to do.
Yeah. So great stuff. Great Storm stuff too.
Cool.
And ties into the stuff we saw in X-Men 97. So we just talked about that last week. So there we go. Tie it all together. What you got for us there, Sicky?
I'm gonna give this just because I found it at the used store that I look at for books sometimes, and they had it on the rack. It was like $1. It had a tag on it, meaning it was from a library on the spine, and on the stamp on it says CBU Library. So I'm guessing it's the Cape Breton University Library. It must be. I'm not sure what else would be.
Anyway, it's called. Isn't that university called the University College of Cape Breton?
What is CBU then?
UCCB. I don't know what CBU is.
Maybe it's not Nova Scotia. It could be somewhere else. Who knows where it came from? Cape Breton University, CBU.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Maybe there's 2 universities in Cape Breton.
So, and just it kind of gave me nostalgia because it's in the old trade format. It's the Cable and the New Mutants trade. Look at this sucker. Beautiful retro trade. With the shiny holofoil purple.
So is it just the New Mutant stuff once Cable shows up? But
yes,
before X-Force, or it has X-Force in it as well?
I believe it says Cape Breton University. There's a stamp right there.
That's what they're teaching in Cape Breton? Well, I guess that's
originally published in Originally published in magazine form as New Mutants 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 93, 94.
Hmm.
They skipped 92, so I don't know why that one was not included. But yeah, I don't know. It's got like the newsprint paper, you know. And
92 might have been like Fatal
Yeah.
Attract. No, not Fatal Attractions, but one
Oh,
of
it's
the
probably a
others.
crossover, yeah.
The crossover storyline, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's got that great, fun 90s Rob Liefeld art.
Oh, yeah.
The Who. So yeah, check it out.
Any good looking feet?
You know, his feet are kind of visible there.
Those ones sort of just disappear into the fire, don't they?
Cable's fucked up looking feet right there. Look how tiny the feet are.
It's like, fucking, I don't want to bother with them. I'll just make them so tiny it won't matter.
Oh, well, it's funny knowing that and looking through. Well, yeah, look at. Yeah, there's a big fight between him and Wolverine in the last issue.
Yeah, very good. Cable and Wolverine?
Yeah.
I haven't read that stuff in a while. Quite a while.
Yeah, it looks like fun. We got a lot of strife.
Strife's cool.
A lot of the New Mutants there, as you can see, Cannonball.
Might get some strife in X-Men 97.
Ah, hopefully so. I like to see Silver Samurai and some of those other characters show up again. It'd be fun. Some of those.
The ones
like
where
see,
you just saw a quick.
Wolverine and Madripoor is what I really want to see. And maybe like with the Joe Fixit Hulk crate cameo in a single.
Oh, I want to see Joe Fixit Hulk. Now that you mentioned it.
But I like movies, which is fine.
Actually, yeah, I'd just like to see them do the Wolverine Hulk fight in the woods with the Wendigo story and Alpha Flight. That'd be fun.
Yep.
Why not? What am I doing?
That'd be good.
Movies.
World War Wendigo. Show me that. That'd be fun.
Yeah. I just went and watched a movie tonight. I
Hmm.
managed to crawl out of my house in order to get to it. And it was Death of a Unicorn, the new A24 comedy horror movie with starring Paul Rudd, Ant-Man himself, and Jenna Ortega. I don't believe she's been in a Marvel movie. Actually, I think she was in a Marvel movie. She was in Iron Man 3, I think. As like a little
Really?
kid or something, yeah.
Huh.
But not in any substantial role. Tia Leone, Will Poulter, who is Adam Warlock, is also in it. And Richard E. Grant, who was alternate universe Loki in Loki, the older Loki, the classic. A lot of Marvel nods. Oh, and what's his face? The bald guy from Barry, he's Metamorpho in the upcoming Superman movie. He's in it as well. But yeah, super good, super fun movie. You know, I expect it. It's a little lighter than I expected. I mean, if the commentary that rich people don't only out for themselves and will try to mine a natural wonder like a unicorn or anything else you'd find in nature to exploit it to the very end of what they can get out of it to try to make as much money as possible is a theme that we're all not that familiar with. I don't think that is, but I do think that they do some interesting stuff with this. There's some pretty good. They do make.
You don't think that is? You don't think that's a reflective of real life?
No, I think it absolutely is, but I don't think like it's a surprise. You know what I mean? Like not that they really sell it that way, but it's just yeah, it's like, you know, we're
a new theme.
We're living in a world where this is happening every day, all the time.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it's family. Paul Rudd on his way to meet his rich benefactors in a pharmaceutical company hits a unicorn with his car. First, they don't know what it is, but then it becomes pretty apparent of what it is, and then the family of the unicorn come looking for it. And the one they hit was a baby, and the family is much larger. And it's interesting. It's probably the only movie I've ever seen where unicorns are monsters or like not a mystical. You know, there's something horrifying about them. Like they're scary, and they do a really good job of kind of making them interesting, unique sort of characters. It's a cool movie. I dug it. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, but it's definitely worth a watch. Check it out. And also check out any of these 4Ks I bought today because they're on sale at Walmart. Cool Hand Luke.
Oh, classic.
Oppenheimer, because it was like super cheap.
You'll never eat an egg again.
Oh, I've seen it before. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase's National Lampoon's Vacation, the original one. And The Brutalist, the big movie from this past year. That wasn't on sale, just came out today.
All right.
All right. right, go watch all those. And also, what did I watch recently?
Did you catch up on Daredevil yet?
No, I will. I promise you. Oh yeah, my movie night I host at the bar. We watched Enter the Dragon yesterday.
Enter the Dragon,
Which is a movie I'd never seen before. Pretty great movie.
Oh man, that scene where he like kicks that guy's head so fast, it's just like
yeah, it's obvious a dummy that he's hitting that a real person. It moves so fast when he hits it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know what? I like that movie a lot. I wish we would have. I think the breakout star of that movie is not Bruce Lee. I think it is Roper, the character played by John Saxon, the gambling addict kung fu master who's also there. I like that character. Is very Bruce Lee's character is very one dimensional. His character is actually very interesting and very cool, and I wanted to see more of him.
All right, well, moving on.
Chemistry is the study of matter and the change matter undergoes. To illustrate.
All right, well, it's science class with Professor Davin, and in science class today, we're going to learn that voodoo is highly unscientific.
Is that it? Is that the end of the segment?
Yeah. Just these days, you never know what people believe.
You don't want to explain that magic is hard to define by science?
No, that was it. Moving on. Oh, we haven't done news. We have a new student in a while. We're not going to do it tonight, but we should do that soon.
I showed a picture there if you want to bring it up, if you want to talk about something.
Okay.
You see it there? So they released some of the figures from the upcoming Thunderbolts movie. This is the first look we have at the Century.
There he is. Looks freaking great.
It looks pretty great to me. I like.
Yeah.
This is what I hate about the internet. I mean, there's a lot of things I hate about the internet, but I saw this and the first comments looks like it's another stupid generic Marvel costume, and I'm like, it looks almost exactly like the costume around the comics.
That is exactly if it was
I know.
comics.
There's extra lines and stuff in it to make it more modern looking. Yeah. But that's about. I don't know.
I mean, it always has to be made out of that mesh.
I guess speaking about how we talk about where the X-Men show up in the greater world, that they did announce that the Doomsday cast, a good chunk of them have been announced, including several surprise connections to the X-Men. Ian McKellen's back as Magneto, Professor X's
Jimmy Marsden,
James Marsden back as Cyclops. We might get a cooler Cyclops. That'd be fun. Also, Rebecca Stamos as Mystique, Kelsey Grammer as Beast. So I'm thinking we might get the version of the X-Men that are in the world from Marvel's. I'm assuming is that connection.
Yeah. I think
probably without Wolverine. I'm guessing
that Beast. Well, I think probably Wolverine and Deadpool will be in that movie.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. It'll be all those X-Men. I think. I could be wrong, but I think so. And probably more of the X-Men that haven't been.
Well, it could be Deadpool's.
Announced yet.
It could still be Deadpool's world, I guess.
I mean, it's going to be Battle World, I think. Doomsday is going to be Doom creates Battle World, and we get all these characters fighting variants of themselves, or fighting they could do a mini Avengers versus X-Men on a Battle World, and then you could have Cap go Avengers Assemble, and then Cyclops could go to me, my X-Men. How badass would that be?
It'd be pretty cool. But I don't know. I'm still a little I don't know. I still just wish we had a different Doom. It's just.
I know. Me too.
But whatever.
Maybe they'll surprise us somehow.
You know what? I'm just gonna take each victory as they come. I think I'm gonna be so happy with the Fantastic Four movie that I'll be able to ride me through. Everything about that has made me so happy.
Doom has to be a big part of that world, though. I mean, it's Fantastic Four. So,
what if there's a different Doom in their world? What if the Doom?
I think so. Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is like a Kang alternate universe Doom, and their Doom is someone else entirely.
Mm-hmm. I think, we'll probably get a council of reeds and stuff like that. We're still going to get a ton more variants.
I heard an interesting rumor about because they never actually said who. I don't think they've actually said who. I don't think it's actually been revealed who John Malkovich is playing in it. I know everyone.
Yeah, there is. He's playing Red Ghost.
I think everyone assumed that, but I don't think it's official. I think if you look up like the IMDb for it, he's not listed in that as anybody.
Well, he looks like Red Ghost.
Well, you know who he could be too.
Doom.
Reed's father.
He could be.
Because he's a mysterious character that travels cross realities and kind of gets connected to things.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'd be cool if he's the Red Ghost. I'd be happy with that. But I'm not sure. I'm gonna look it up and see if they actually have him listed in the cast as that. No, it's just listed he's in it.
Huh. There's gonna be a lot of surprises coming.
Same
up.
with Paul Walter Hauser. Paul Walter Hauser hasn't been announced as to who he is. He's just in it.
No, I think he's Herbie.
You think he's Herbie?
Yeah, I think he's the voice of Herbie.
I don't know. I still think he's the Mole Man.
That would be awesome. I just want to see the Mole Man and his giant monsters. That'd be amazing. To get some clobbering time,
Maybe Robert Downey Jr. is the. I'd prefer a world where like the Tony Stark become like he's not Victor Von Doom. He's just Tony Stark who becomes Doctor Doom.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that, and then he could sacrifice himself again and then restart the universe, but like at the end of Secret Wars or whatever, and then but what he does is like restarts a new Victor Von Doom, or grabs one from a different one, another one that's not him, and then we get a new Doom that way. I don't know. I feel like they just wanted one last hurrah with Robert Downey Jr. They're like, this is how we'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're trying to recapture some of what they had before. So whatever. I mean, like I said, I'm just going to take the victories that come. Fantastic Four looks. I think that's going to make me very happy. So.
Yep.
Although I don't know, like the Russos don't seem to make. I haven't seen a lot of their newer movies, so I shouldn't compliment Hawk. But I know like the Gray Man, the Electric State, and whatever the other one was they did since Endgame, all were not well reviewed. So it seems like when they're playing in their own world, they don't do quite so well as they do when they're in the Marvel world. So maybe.
Well, maybe they'll make some more Marvel magic.
Hopefully so. I'm always curious who Natasha Lyonne is playing in the Fantastic Four movie. It'd be great if she was Herbie.
Birdie.
Yeah,
from the What Ifs.
Oh, yeah, right. No, she is Birdie, right? That'd be funny if she was.
Yeah, could be. All right, guess what time it is? Oh, yeah.
I'm Peter Parker. How about you?
Kick his ass, Seabass!
All right, let's talk about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Episode 8, Seabass.
This is the last one? Or is there 10?
No, there's 10.
No. What happens in this one again? This is the one after he gets fucked up by the Scorpion?
Yeah,
this one where
he's all beat up and everyone sees him all beat up. And Aunt May gives him a big hug, and that's very sweet. This scene here, very sweet.
It's such a good show. Dude. I was talking to someone today about it. They asked me what I thought. I said it might be my favorite Spider-Man show yet, and it's hard to say, but it's so good.
It's just so good. This episode, like we've been giving them all 10s, but this one might be an 11. It's so good. It's got like Iron Man shows up. Before that, it has like the best Doc Ock scene ever. It's the scene where he's dancing out because all the armed soldiers
he gets captured by Iron Man,
and he's just dancing his way out and gets past all of them with the arms and all these other lasers and traps he has. It's awesome. He's super cocky about it. Before that, he has some very funny scenes with his little lackey, where his lackey's just making sure he's eating. He's just like, "Are you eating, sir?"
Yeah, right.
He's like, "Don't interrupt me when I'm doing wicked, awesome, revolutionary research." And he's just like, "Are you playing that game again, sir?" And you just hear meow. He's like, "I'm just farming XP." Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, man, it's so good. Like all that great Doc Ock stuff. It's already like an 11 for me.
Yeah, well, we got
And
Thaddeus Ross, we got Iron Man, we got mention of Scovia Accords.
Yeah.
We do
And
get
then,
mention of Uncle Ben. We see Dmitry Smirdy. I don't pronounce his name right. Smirdyakov. Back as he was wearing a mask. He's not quite the chameleon yet, but he's got the mask on anyway.
Yep.
And he learns about the abandoned warehouse where there's technology that they could use in their fight against Gargan, since Octavius got pinched. So without Ben in his life, Peter turns to Norman for advice, and I really love that Norman tells him with great power comes great respect. And that the only reason he couldn't beat Gargan because he held back. He didn't like kill him or go as like he did. He pulled his punches, and if he had just really tried to fuck him up, he would have won. And I love that
Spidey always pulls his punches.
He probably shouldn't have with Gargan, but yes, he is. It's nice. And then Harry comes through with Spider-Man giving him a new costume, which reflects had designed, which is like the classic blue and red costume we all know and love.
Yeah,
and more of Lonnie's whole thing with the 110 gang, so that's all fun too.
He wanted more color than in this one, but yeah, there was more of the Lonnie stuff too. It's like it was a lot happened in that episode, and it's just so good. You could give it an 11, really. It's.
I mean, the whole show is fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
I just love the little seeds of Norman's, like the true Norman. It's not necessarily that he's evil from the get-go. It's not like he has some master plan in which he's pulling the strings towards some evil reveal, but it's more like the mask of civility is slipping a little as the show goes on, where you see that, like, as long as everything's going fine or it's working out his way, then he's fine. But the second it does is when he starts getting flipping into more villainous personality, or at least traits that would be considered more villainous, like being braggadocious and wanting to accumulate as much power as possible, even using the Sokovia Accords and the superhero civil war to like get a little more power with the government.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all very well done. I dig it a lot.
He has a slow burn for his villain reveal. But I remember when I first watched this one, though, the way they did the costume thing was really smart, because by the time you get to this scene, you just want to see him in that costume so bad, because there's been so many alternate ones, and some of them were very funny. That one's just too basic, this white and blue one. No things. But,
well, it looks it's a Future Foundation costume, which is pretty cool.
It is.
I guess
it has blue instead of the black. I don't
think we mentioned it, but in January 2025, they announced there's going to be a third season of the show, so we're at least getting 3 so far.
Oh, great!
So we get the second one won't be until 2026, but they expect after that season for them to come out annually after that. So this one was 2024, sadly. So
okay,
no, I give it early 2025. Yeah.
So at least 2 more seasons.
At least.
Awesome.
So I think we're going some fun places with it. I hope they really just crack it open and go wild. I'd love to see fucking all these cool. I want to see Kane. I want to see Spider Side. I want to see the Jackal. I want to see the Clone Saga. I want to see all the fun stuff. Bring out all the toys.
Well, you already saw Hornet and Ricochet and Dusk.
I want to see Kraven's Last Hunt. I think some of the best Spider-Man movies ever are those Spider-Man games for the PlayStation. Like the last 2 Spider-Man games for the PlayStation have been 2 of the best cinematic, funnest interconnections of Spider-Man stuff. Like the last one was excellent. The Miles Morales game is fun too, but the connection between Harry, Norman, the symbiote, Kraven, all that stuff's really, really cool in the last game. It's really well done.
Interesting. Well, what do you want to do now?
Did you actually
get out of here?
Did you end up seeing the Captain America movie?
Not yet.
It's out of the theaters, dude. You missed it.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll see it on Disney Plus. It was hard to get away. It was hard to get away. I'm not going to miss Thunderbolts, though.
I question your commitment, sir. I question your commitment to this Marvel.
Well, look, I'll watch Captain America when you get caught up on Daredevil.
Well, Daredevil just came out recently. Captain America came out like 3 months ago.
But it's so good.
Yeah, the first 2 episodes were great.
Yeah.
There's a guy that like showed up in my reels. He's like some guy that just makes content, I guess. But he has like a series of videos where he just plays Wilson Fisk, and he's pretty good at aping him, like in the way he talks. And like he's just like a normal looking.
He talks.
He's just like a normal
interesting.
looking guy, and he wears like it's just like a stocking cap that's kind of flesh colored, and he has like a big white jacket on, and it's like when you're on a Tinder date or something, and Wilson Fisk shows up, and he's like, "Hello, Vanessa. I hope the accommodations are treating you well." You know, and he's not looking at her, and he's just
They're treating
I
you
gave you
well.
I gave you this bottle of wine, Vanessa. I hope you know. And she's like, I didn't. I'm allergic to wine. And he's like, "Oh, that I have failed you, Vanessa. I'm so sorry." Like just the way he does it. I can kind of do it, but I haven't done it enough to really get it. But it's all. Oh,
would you like to share a super anglaise? Isn't that what they serve to kids? Oh no, not again.
Yeah. I need to stare at this painting, Vanessa, for 5 hours. It calms me. Yeah, it's pretty funny. Talk about like range, Vincent D'Onofrio, and like,
oh yeah,
if you look at like some of his more famous roles, and like all of the different characters
Thor.
played over the years, and how drastically different they in Adventures in Babysitting, yes,
yeah.
Well, no, even like the Cell or Law and Order when he was on that. A lot of people forget he was the bug guy in Men in Black in the first movie. He was the Edgar, the guy whose skin is worn by the bug for the whole movie. But he's all rotten, you can't really tell it's him, but it is him. He's really good in that movie. When me and my friend joke about it all the time, where he's like, "I'd like sugar, water," and she gives him the sugar and water, and she's putting the sugar in and looking at him. He's like, you know, and then he dabs it. And his wife's like, "Edgar, your skin's hanging off your bones." He's like, "Oh, is this better?" And he pulls it back. She drops and she just passes out. Man, that movie, like, talking about movies. I mean, if you want to talk about cinema, like film, and like what film was meant to do, and what the best versions of the genres are. So, like,
he's gonna say something fancy because he went from saying movies to cinema.
Wow. I just meant like I movies capture, when they're done well, capture something within you, or they entertain you in a way that resonates and sticks with you. And when you talk about like classic action movies that really did the job and stick with you as being really, really good, partially because the cast, partially the effects, the story, everything comes together so perfectly. Men in Black 1 is by far one of the most entertaining action movies of all time. It's definitely high up in the list for me. Also, The Mummy.
And that one never resonated with me, actually.
Really? Like,
none of the Men in Black movies did, and they should be right up my alley because I like aliens.
The third one is actually really good as well too. No, watch the first one again and just watch Tommy Lee Jones. He's so good in that movie. When he says, when he says to him, 100,000 years ago, people were convinced the Earth was flat. 100 years ago, people thought that we were whatever. He goes, 5 minutes ago, you thought we were alone in the universe. And imagine what you'll find out next. And like he just does it so well, and it so resonates. And when he says, like, when they talk to the wife, and she says, it's like he's wearing an Edgar suit, and then he says, like, we gotta. He knows what it is already. He says, we got one of this thing, unlicensed cephalopod, whatever. No, that's octopus, but something like that. And he says, and he's wearing a brand new, and he's walking around in a brand new Edgar suit. Like, it's just such a good line. I don't know, man. It's a solid movie. It's really, really.
I'll go
fun.
back and watch it again.
It's like a good cop procedural with aliens and it's funny how much farther it went from the original source material. Like the comics that Sandy Crothers worked on, the Men in Black weren't just aliens; they were all kinds of phenomena. It was like Bigfoot and other stuff too in those comics. So it was werewolves and whatever. It was like a whole other world.
Kind of like Fringe.
Yeah, I love that show. But also, The Mummy is one of the best action movies. It's not a good horror movie, but the Brendan Fraser Mummy movie is one of the best
100%.
action movies ever made.
It's so fun all the way through. It's so good.
Yeah.
That's one of the best movies ever.
Benny's one of the best side characters ever.
Oh yeah.
When the mummies are dancing on, he's taking out he has every single like religious thing on a chain. He's going through them all and praying in different languages, hoping one of them will save him. He speaks in Hebrew, and then the mummy recognizes the language as the slave language because of the Jewish slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a fun movie.
Oh, so good.
He's the coolest teacher we got around here, and the nicest. Wait, you're forgetting your homework.
Well, assuming I'm still alive by next week, we will be doing episode number 9 of X-Men Evolution Season 2. Joyride is the name of this episode, in which the kids may go on some kind of a ride that brings them joy.
Oh, you think so?
Or
What if they get caught in traffic?
Or they steal
and
a
it just ends
car
up being a really shitty ride.
or they steal a car. But it looks like the Brotherhood returns, and we get some more with the New Mutant characters and the Brotherhood as well. It appears as though, from what I'm looking at, the X-Men start working together with the Brotherhood, but we'll see how that works out.
Well, it
definitely looks like the New Mutants get a little more front and center in this episode. So.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Oh, look forward to that. And you can support the show at patreon.com/X-Men Review Show. Buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/X-Men Review
How many
Show.
coffees we got?
None. Get some merch at redbubble.com/people/X-Men Review Show/shop. Contact us at xmenreviewshow@gmail.com. And you can find our audio-only version wherever you get your podcasts. And please, like us, love us, review us, and subscribe to whatever
Please
we
love
tell
us,
you.
please.
Please. They love me. Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. And check out our whole little family of podcasts at United Federation of Podcasts, ufpodcast.com. Yeah. Anything else you want to say to the people before we get out of here? I got a crying baby upstairs I probably got to deal with.
No, just be excellent to each other with the Wild Stallions.
With a capital X.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Catch you next time.
Well, I think I'm gonna go find Duncan.
Duncan! It's always Duncan.
Just go. Leave.